Evening, folks. Welcome to the season finale of Smuggler's Blues, a redemption tale, redemption story. Again, as usual, I am Michael. Tonight I'll be playing the role of Tazi, our captain, smuggler extraordinaire, occasional drunk. Kaylee?
Oh, Captain, my Captain. I'm Kaylee. I'm going to be playing Karrell, the Jedi in exile, and she who struggles a lot with composure. Chris, what do you do
And
here?
I'm Chris. I'm the game master, and I get to play R3 A1 and 1D4,
And like everybody else.
and yeah, several others. So let's roll the destiny pool.
Okay. And hello to Kevin and anyone else there in the audience tonight.
Hey, folks.
I got a dark side point. That's a really good way to start this.
See what we got. Bounce, bounce, bounce. One dark side point. Great.
Yeah, and I
This
got one
could be
light side.
two.
So 2 and 1.
All right. That's
And
not
we
too
have a
bad.
Nathan. Hey, Nathan.
Nathan. Cool.
All right. When we last left off, we had a couple of fairly in-depth conversations. Actually, we had 3. And then Tazi had gone back to the bar and got the hyperdrive motivator you needed to fix at least the hyperdrive of the ship. I almost said Harper Drive.
Harper
No,
Drive.
not Harper Drive. Yeah,
It's
that's
a lot more
next to
musical.
the hyperdrive. Yeah.
That's how you, that's a Forgotten Realms thing.
Oh, sorry. We can't do that. Please don't sue us, Daddy WizKids /TSR / whatever you are now. Hasbro? I don't know.
Yep. So it's still going to take some time. You got to have your mechanic put the hyperdrive motivator in and
God,
get the
that's
ship
slacker.
ready to fly.
I'm pretty sure that's what Karrell's doing right now. Probably is dragooned A-1 into helping also.
All right. Roll a hard mechanics check.
That would mean I'd have to have my character open. Okay. So that is going to be 3 purples for a hard check. And I'm going to be rolling 2 yellows and 2 green against it. This is pretty much how my day has been, so let's keep going with this. I got 3 successes and 5 threats.
Ooh.
Right.
I have an idea for that if you'd like.
Okay. Go ahead.
So the hyperdrive motivator that you got works, but it's not from our class of ship. It's actually from a newer Imperial shuttle. And unfortunately, Karrell and A-1 had to kind of retrofit it a little bit. And if you basically, I'd say if you critically fail on any piloting roll, the next one, it's literally gonna go out. Is that enough, Chris, or do you want a little more danger in there?
Nope.
Could explode. Who knows?
Works for me. So Karrell and A1 are doing that. What is Tazi doing?
While the repairs are going on?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. Let's see. Tazi's probably going over... Tazi's not really one to review mission data. And we don't really have a mission per se right now. Except to get back. So... I think Tazi's probably taking it easy. It was kind of a long, strenuous day or so.
Okay.
So while our engineers are engineering, our pilot will be snoozing.
Okay. Perfect. Makes sense.
Hard at work.
While you are snoozing, after a little while, there's a tapping on your forehead.
Knock it off. Knock it off.
1 second. I forgot to turn this thing on.
So I think Tazi, the last we saw Tazi, he was laying in the, was he still laying in the med bay?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I forgot to turn on my little voice thing.
Modulator.
Yep.
Hey, at least it's not me having technical difficulties this time. I'm taking that as possible growth. Chris locked up, I think. Like the
No,
person.
he just blinked.
No,
I saw him blink.
Okay. Saw him blink. All right, we're good.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
That's weird.
We can hear you.
Weird. I don't.
So, is the modulator not working properly?
All right. I don't understand why it's not. So we'll skip it and
Moving
pretend the
on.
voice is there. All right. You open your eyes and D4 is standing over the top of you. Captain, there is a person here requesting aid. Are we taking jobs?
Oh, where? Like outside the ship?
Yes.
Okay. I guess we're always taking jobs. I mean, well, let's have a meeting with them. You want to accompany me outside?
I can. If you are concerned for your well-being, I would be happy to be there.
No, I think it's just smarter for us to, in pairs while we've got this whole Black Sun thing going on.
Very well. And he steps to the side, waiting for you to go.
Are A-1 and Karrell still working on the hyperdrive?
They are.
All right.
There seems to be some minor complications.
And swearing.
Of course, there's minor complications. What would this be if we didn't have minor complications?
Another
All right. Let's go. Let's go hobnob with the commoners. Yeah.
All right. He follows you down, and you
Some work.
open the little landing ramp. And now there is a human female. Looks like she's probably a teenager. Looks a little dirty. She turns around and smiles, and she's got a very big, bright smile and very bright blue eyes. I mean, the first thing you notice is she looks pretty dirty. Her clothes look pretty ripped up and dirty and pretty well used.
So does she look like she's on the run? I'd like to make. I'm gonna make a perception check here, unless there's a different stat you think would be appropriate. Streetwise, maybe.
Perception probably is fine.
Okay.
Just make a hard perception check.
Make a perception check. I want
Three
Tazi's gonna like look her up and down and see if he can get a feel for like maybe if she's on the run, how long she's been on the street. You said hard, right?
Correct.
Which is 3 purple.
Correct.
Just for the audience.
Mhm.
Not for me at all. Well, on the plus side, 1 success, 2, 3, 4, and 4 advantages,
Okay.
and 3 blank dice.
Nice.
Jeez.
These clothes look like she's been in them for quite a while. Looks like she probably lives in them.
Based on what Tazi knows of Randon,
Mhm.
do I believe that she is a native or do I believe she's from Offworld?
Randon's kind of a mix. It's a giant marketplace.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't- Chris doesn't think there's a native population. Does that make sense? Like Rodeo would be the native population would be Rhodians. So I don't think there is one. But
Well, but I mean, not
Mhm.
necessarily a native population, but again, like someone who lives on the planet versus someone who visits or
Yeah.
has come as a visitor, right?
It's possible either way. That one would be tough to tell.
Don't necessarily get a local vibe from
Mhm.
this
She
woman.
as soon as the gangplank comes down, she walks up, looks at you, smiles. Well, taller than I thought.
Than you thought. Do I know you?
No, but we've heard about you guys.
We.
Everybody's talking about how helpful you are. You opened your ship up to the sick and didn't charge very much. You helped people who were hurt. Though your ship looks like it could use some tidying up.
And who am I speaking to?
Oh, I'm sorry. How rude. And she holds out a pretty dirty hand. I am Kira. Pleased to meet you.
Kira. I'm Tazi. Oh. Too late now. Tazi said his name. Crap.
We are so good at this.
Oh, I'd like to say that Tazi says his name, and in the background, like you can hear audibly, like there's a groan from D4.
Before.
D4's like, oh,
I think it's just like a metallic, just
like
a
a
sigh.
tut tut, like
Yeah.
um yeah Tazi, my friends call me Tazi, but you can call me. Oh, where are my notes? You can call me Jax.
She
Because we're not
smiles.
friends yet, so you're just gonna call me Jax.
She smiles. Very well. And she's still holding her hand out. You shake her hand.
Yeah.
Firm handshake. You can feel dry skin, some calluses. She's had, some rough times.
Definitely hands that have done some work, right?
Yes, correct. She
What
says,
what brings you to the ship?
well, if I have paid attention and understand things right, I think you guys could help. Me and my friends.
Okay. Who are your friends and what kind of help do you require?
Well, and she looks around. Is there a quieter place we can talk?
There is, but we can start here.
Okay, fair enough. My friends and I, we watch each other's backs, and somebody is threatening that. She leans over and whispers, and making us do things we don't want to do.
All right, that's pretty vague.
Have you seen any Deveronians around here lately?
I believe there was, yes. I'm having well, no, I think recently we dealt with some Deveronians that
I believe so too.
Tazi had to keep from doing
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
bad things to due to past issues with Deveronians.
Yep.
I mean, seen some Deveronians. Can't say we've had dealings with them.
Well, these ones, they want to, how do you say it? Make their name?
Okay.
And, well, they're trying to looks around. They're making us, steal things and give it to them, or else they punish us. And most of us are, like me, just trying to survive.
All right. Hmm. Tazi has been on the receiving end of a con before. Tazi has also been on the giving end of a con before.
I'm gonna interrupt you. I had you give me some stats before the game.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled on against your perception already.
Okay.
You believer. I rolled ahead of time to see how it would play out.
Yeah, but I didn't roll, Chris. You rolled.
No, for once I rolled against your guys' stats.
Okay.
There's a Lothcat here that takes issue with that, but he doesn't get a vote, so. Kyber, go. Kyber, go.
All right. All right, come on the board. We'll chat in the lounge.
She walks on the ship and doesn't get but 3 steps in the ship and goes, "Do I smell cookies?"
Does she smell cookies?
No.
Not anymore. That was like 20 hours ago.
Yeah.
I mean, we made cookies at one point, but they're long gone.
Oh, thank you for offering to make cookies. I would love some.
That's not what I said.
She smiles and just heads that way. Oh, well, then I'll make them for us.
Heads which way?
She's heading the direction Tazi was going.
Oh.
So if you're going the correct way.
Yeah,
she's
Tazi was going to the
correct way.
lounge, which is the lounge
galley.
is also the galley. So
Yeah.
Tazi stops for a second and turns to D4. Keep your sensors peeled. I have a bad feeling about this.
Very well. Anything in particular I should be looking for?
Well, you've been studying how humanoids act and interact. Just analyze and observe.
Very well.
Ping my comm if you just ping it if you pick up something that's off.
Very well. He follows behind you.
And Tazi will follow into the galley.
Okay. And she goes in there and opens up the refrigerator or whatever they have on the ship that's a refrigerator. And
there are no cookies there. The cookies are in the cookie safe.
Yeah.
That's canon.
She doesn't know that. So she's looking around. Well, no cookies, but you look like you're hungry. And she just starts taking things out and starts cooking.
I mean, I could eat, but it's not. It's. Well, what are you making?
Good question. What does a ship have on it?
We have a lot of protein bars.
Oh my gosh, we have so many of those expired protein bars.
100%. We actually got reloaded with actual food the last time we were at home base.
Oh,
that's right.
That's right.
So we actually have probably not just ramen. We probably have mac and cheese.
Okay. She's
And
starting to whip up.
and not the store kind. This is craft.
There's probably some processed meat product.
Mm-hmm. She's starting
Protein
to
cubes.
Slam.
Mix
Stellar
up
spam. Slam.
some
I
sort
think
of
it's called wham. It's womp rat meat. We'll call it wham.
Wham. Okay, there you go.
So she's whipping up some sort of pasta with the meat.
Greasy.
and
It's so greasy.
She's smiling and just. So, what are you going to do about our Deveronian friend?
Well, I haven't agreed to do anything yet. So we were going to talk some more.
Oh.
So
All right.
why don't you give me a little bit more information about what's been going on?
Okay.
Talk to me about your Deveronian friend. I want to know about your friends. Tell me about I want as much detail as you can possibly give me.
Okay. Well, a while ago, a ship that was carrying several of my friends who, well, let's just say the war uh, moved our parents to another place. And we were coming here, and things didn't work out with our new living arrangements. So now we found our own, and we work together to keep each other safe and trying to learn as much as we can. And this Deveronian and his friends found us, and now they are trying to use us to help themselves. They have us, pickpocket and steal things, and sometimes they have us sneak into buildings and steal things. Who would ever think a group of kids would be, good at stealing things?
Oh, I am. I am familiar with lots of groups of kids who are good at stealing things.
Really? So we're not the only one. Interesting.
He's in poor.
And again, I want to be clear, Chris. You've already rolled, so like there's no way Tazi's thinking any of this is in any way suspicious.
I mean, you can think it's suspicious. Everything on this planet seems suspicious to you at this point.
Okay. All right. I'm just okay.
But she's coming
right.
off very charming and believable.
Mhm. All right. All right.
So, what we would
So
like
tell
is,
me about your friends.
well, there's 10 of us. And, well,
Where do you stay?
underneath an old abandoned factory. It was clothing, but now it's just abandoned. We don't know why. We assumed that the people that were running it just weren't very good at business.
Are you the leader of your group?
She smiles. Well, I am the oldest. Makes sense.
Wait, does the rest of the group look to you to be the leader, or have you taken that leadership on yourself?
She smiles and stops for a second and puts her hands on her hips. A little of both. I just realized that I'm the oldest, so I should probably be in charge, and nobody has ever disagreed.
How old are you?
14. How old are you?
A lot older than that.
You've probably seen situations like this.
How long has the Deveronian been forcing you to work for him?
About 4 months.
And before that, did you live under the factory with your friends?
Yeah. Almost a year now. Nobody
Kira,
really ever.
where are you from?
Corellia, I'm going to guess you're from Duros.
Good guess. How long have you been on planet? Here on Randown.
A little over a year.
What brought you here?
Me and my friends were needing a new home after the war. And the ship that brought us here, we were all supposed to live in one big house, and that didn't work out. So we decided to stay together. It was either that or they were going to send us to different places. That scared a lot of them. So we decided to stay together.
How is the cooking coming
Good
as we're
question.
talking?
Hold on. Well, the protein bars are starting to look better and better.
Ooh.
Not completely burned, but yeah. Got some things in the wrong order, not enough water, so the pasta's probably not fully cooked.
Tazi's also not a chef, but Tazi also can smell that this probably isn't.
Yeah. Not
Tazi
the
did
best
live through
cooking.
A1's
Cooking.
cooking
Yeah, it's
adventure, so
It's true.
very similar to A1 without the fire.
Oof, it's something.
all right. Well, let me. Tazi like stands up from the table and walks over to where Kira's cooking.
Mhm.
Let me just step in here for a second. I appreciate all this, but I'm gonna be blunt. This doesn't smell like something either of us should eat.
You're not going to throw it out, are you?
Yes, but that's okay. We'll get we'll get you something a little better to eat than this. Don't worry about it.
I knew you guys were going to be helpful. We could tell just by watching.
How long have you been watching?
Ever since you landed. How else are we supposed to know who the easy marks are? Not that you're an easy mark.
So you've been making a living off of picking off other ships?
Well, before we did odd jobs and, I mean, not going to lie, we took when we had to eat, but we never took more than we needed. And never from anybody that couldn't afford to lose it. Now we're forced to steal things we don't need and don't want. Stolen jewelry, it's very odd. And you can't do anything with it. You can't eat it. It doesn't keep you warm.
Oh, well, all right. Before I agree, before I make any kind of commitment to assist,
Mhm.
I need to speak to the rest of my crew.
Of course.
Tazi will reach into one of the pockets in his jumpsuit, pull out a chip with he'll code it for 50 credits.
Okay.
It's not a lot, but why don't you go get yourself and maybe your friends something to eat that you didn't try to cook?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you a signal when it's right when it's safe for you to approach again. I know you'll be watching.
Okay.
What's the name before you go? What's the name of the Deveronian?
Danik Viggles.
And is it just the Deveronian, or does he have a crew?
He has 4 other Deveronians with him.
All right. Kira, I'll talk to the crew and we'll see what we can do. Go get some food.
Very well. Thank you. She heads out of the ship.
Tazi follows her out.
Heads straight out. Disappears in the crowd. Very good at blending in. D4 walks up. Captain,
Yes.
I believe we need to replace some silverware. But I did not think it was appropriate to mention it while she was still here.
Understood. This D4, this is my surprised face.
That looks a lot like your resting face.
Yeah, it is.
Was that sarcasm?
It was. It was. Good catch, D4.
Ah, thank you.
All right.
It is sometimes hard to tell with you.
Tazi pops on the comm. Actually, Tazi doesn't pop on the comm. Tazi walks into the engineering bay.
I think that at about the time you walk in, Karrell is like, she's like waist deep into the engine bay where the hyperdrive motivator is, and just like her legs are sticking out at that point. And I think A1's just kind of standing there and has been handing her stuff.
Hey, you two. How are the repairs coming?
Ah,
Slow.
Kirk. Sorry, Tazi, wear a bell or something. Okay, it's slow. We had to retrofit this. It's really not designed for art. Hang on. And she crawls out, and she's just like, there's like, for how clean the engine room is, she somehow has grease all over. Like one Leku has a stripe going down the back of it, like she just dragged it across something. We had to like totally refit it so it would fit. We got to take it really easy when we jump, though. It's kind of jury rigged, but it's the best we can do, and I'll have it done here probably in about a half hour. I'm basically putting everything back together.
All right, got it. We have.
I'll be looking forward to getting off this planet and just getting back home and relaxing for a little bit. Maybe we can take a vacation or something. Go somewhere not frozen or where we owe money.
Well, someone has approached us with a request for assistance.
Okay. Doing what?
Did they get stabbed outside the ship too?
They did not.
Okay, well we're winning on this one already.
Yeah, they do not need medical attention at this time.
Okay, how much does it pay?
It is I did not ask yet.
We need to stab anybody?
What are we stealing?
Maybe. There is a Deveronian.
Oh
or a
no!
group of Deveronians. Hold on.
I thought we took
Wait,
care of
There is a
Cantor.
group. Hold on.
Stealing or stabbing?
Hold on. There is a
Why not
group of
both?
Deveronians on the planet who have forced another group of young people without homes, transient, homeless individuals to work for them. And by working for them, I mean that they are being forced to steal upon threat of their lives, threat of death.
Okay, so it's like a press gang.
Exactly. That's kind of what's happening here.
Okay, just for because I'm showing that I am learning and growing as a being. Is this person under contract to the people that are having them steal? I don't want to assume anything this time.
No, I understand. I have not made any commitments. I told them I would be speaking to you and that we would discuss matters and then I would reach out to them once we've made our decision.
Okay.
While you're finishing up here with the hyperdrive, I'm going to go ask our new friend, and Tazi does friend in air quotes, at the bar if he knows anything about this Deveronian and their crew.
Okay, take D4 with you then.
Yeah, I know. We don't go anywhere. Trust me. Everybody's in pairs.
Yep. It's a good thing we have an even number of people on the ship then.
It really is.
Because, I mean, if anybody else came on the ship, we'd have to get them a friend.
I mean, for the buddy system to work effectively, yes.
But I guess if we only need to buddy up when we're off the ship, that means somebody would always be on the ship.
Also correct. Why don't you go ahead and get back to this? And Tazi kind of makes that motion with his hands, like this, all these things in this room, right? Why don't the two of you get back to this? Do what you can with the parts, and apologize for it not being perfect fit, but obviously I've got the two, most skilled engineers this side of the outer rim. So,
Well, we make do with what we have.
yes.
Thank you for what you have provided.
And I'll see what I can find out about this Deveronian, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
All right. Do you need anything? Any pieces of parts while I'm out?
A1, have you been cooking?
No.
I swear it smells like you've been cooking. But wait, you've been...
No.
Tazi, were you cooking?
I was not, but I did have our guest on the ship. They tried to make some kind of pasta or some kind of dish with some of our supplies.
Did they use the last of the wham?
The wham, yes, the last of the wham may be gone. It was inedible. Luckily, our time with A1's brief cooking stint made that very clear.
I know, but I was going to make wham sushi tonight.
I can pick up some more wham. I can get some more wham.
Okay. Thank you, Tazi.
Yeah. Anything else?
I'm good, A1.
I mean, we could use some armor plating. We could use some more wiring.
How about things I can afford?
How
about things we can afford?
All right. Sure. Anything you think we can afford.
So wham it is.
Yeah, that'll be good.
How about and if you guys, and A1, if you're really helpful with Karrell, I'll bring back some 22-in-1.
Oh, all right.
Special little treat for my little buddy.
Thanks. You should get something for yourself.
I'm good. All right.
Maybe some 151.
I'm gonna go.
He doesn't need lubricants, A1.
I do not. I'm gonna go. You guys keep up the good work. I'm sure you'll have it running tip top before I get back.
Okay, we'll be here. And I think the camera stays with Karrell and A1 for a minute as Tazi walks off. And Karrell looks down at A1 and it's like, did you hear anybody come on the ship?
No. It's hard to hear with the banging, the swearing, me ducking things.
I was not swearing that much. Only when I hit my head on things.
Define that much.
Well, less than usual.
There. But at least we have some of the parts you need. So that
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be able to get off planet. Yes, Tazi's got us this far. We will make do with what we have.
that's what we've always done.
Yep. As
Except
a
for when
team.
his mom was here and gave us all that money.
Oh, that was really nice.
It was.
Everything was clean for a while.
Yeah. Maybe someday we'll go find her. See what she's doing.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably doing something really important for the resistance or something. If there is a resistance. But I mean, I know there's resistance. Why would she? Maybe she isn't. I don't know. I know her business is still going, though.
That's good.
So,
back to work.
yeah, okay. Give me the number 3 spanner and a length of that 20 gauge wire.
All right. He
And
hands it over.
Karrell crawls back into the access tube while camera cuts away to Tazi.
I'd like to say Tazi and D4 are walking back to the bar.
Okay.
I believe it was the Drunken Dianoga, isn't that correct?
Yep.
Sounds right.
That is correct.
Change back to page.
Is it still, as it's under new ownership, is it still the Drunken Dianoga?
It was the Drunken Gundark.
Oh, Drunken. Got it.
Right. It was the Drunken Dianoga was one of the ships for names for the fire spray.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
the
okay,
dirty
gotcha.
Diag.
Dirty Dianoga.
Very Dianoga. Oh my gosh. Yep.
Right.
Got it.
It's only been a day, so they haven't really. They aren't even going to try to change the name right now, if they ever do. So, you get there, it looks pretty quiet. Kind of how you would expect a bar that was just shot up to be.
Are there contractors working on the bar already?
It looks more like the staff is trying to patch up holes and trying to talk people into coming in because there's nobody in there really.
You could probably use some signage out front.
Yeah, okay. We're working on that. After we patch up the holes and clean up the floors and fix the tables, clean up the blood.
There wasn't that much blood, to be fair.
Yeah, okay, sure.
I don't want to take up too much of your time, but an opportunity came up, and I thought it might be good to ask one of my local sources of information, such as you.
Fair. I thought you were going to say a friend. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, I thought friend was just a given.
Sure. Absolutely. 'Cause I'm, nervous around all my friends.
You don't have to be nervous around me. Why would you be nervous?
You do remember what happened last time you were here, right?
Of course, I remember what happened. I was present.
Okay, so
But as
would
long
you
as
be
our
nervous?
relationship is, as long as our relationship remains friendly and helpful and courteous, right? There's no reason to be nervous at all.
Okay. Sure.
I mean,
That's
the
my
bar is
plan.
yours.
Yep. Just what I always wanted.
I mean, would you rather not be here?
Oh, no. I'm grateful for everything you've helped me accomplish in life. Is there something I can help you with? Because I feel like this is only going to get more awkward.
I know. I agree. I fully agree. This is only gonna get more awkward. So let's cut right to it then. I'm looking for information on a Deveronian press gang.
Okay. Any
Have you
more
heard? Have you heard of
information?
anybody operating like that around here?
On planet, off planet,
On
through
planet.
planet? I mean,
The Deveronian, I
nothing.
think the Deveronian that leads the gang goes by the name of Anik Viggles.
He kind of laughs. Oh, Thanik. Oh, yeah.
Vanek.
Thanik, yeah. Him and his little buddies, they just say we didn't keep them after they botched a job. I mean, honestly, they're probably only. I mean, they. I mean, they might be able to intimidate a loth cat or I don't know, maybe some children or something like that. But
What if you don't mind me asking, what jobs did they botch?
just simple protection runs. You know, they talk like they were big and tough, but really they weren't. Matter of fact, a few of them ran when things started to go south.
And the Black Sun just cut ties. They didn't remove them from the equation.
Can we not use that name so loudly?
Certainly. Your employers
Thank you.
didn't didn't take more drastic measures.
If you were walking on a Nerf farm and happened to step in a pile, would you worry about it? You wouldn't go kill the Nerf, would you? You would just learn to avoid the next pile.
No, but if that nerf was constantly, or if that nerf was making piles that caused damage to my organization's reputation,
They did no damage. They were given we'll call it a trial run. They didn't know who they were working for other than the former owner, and they failed. They were told, good luck, go do your own thing.
and your employers let them continue to operate on planet,
They offer no real threat. And sometimes it's nice to have a person to blame things on.
uh,
I think there's a term for that, but Chris is
Patsy.
blanking on it.
A
That's
patsy.
it. Thank you.
escape Dianoga.
There you go.
Got it. Yeah. All right. That makes sense.
Last I knew, they were just minor pickpockets and fences. That's all they were doing now.
All right. All right. Great. That's more information than I had. That's exactly what I needed. Do you happen to know where they operate out of?
Oh,
Where they may be?
last I knew, they had taken up residence in the upper floor of some old factory.
All right.
I mean, I can give you the address if you really want, but based on what I saw here, they're flies. You can just swat them away.
Good to know. Good to know.
I mean, their plan is to make it big. I'm gonna flip over dark side point. Because that will justify why he would say this. You know, really, last I knew, their real goal is they want to make big money, and, well, the Empire looks away from, he leans over and whispers, slavery.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, don't we don't take too well to that around
Oh,
my
neither do
crew.
we. Neither do we. And it's much easier just to offer them employment.
Thanks again for the time.
You're welcome.
And Tazi will slide another cred stick out. Again, 50 credits.
He pockets it.
Thanks for the time. Good luck with the cleanup.
Thank you. Is this going to be a normal thing?
Are we pals now?
I don't expect to be on planet a whole lot longer, so probably not.
Okay. All right. I was just, trying to think of the future.
Would you like it to be a regular thing?
I mean,
You
I
can
guess
tell
if
me
you,
honestly. It's fine.
I mean, no. I mean, unless you want it to be.
Look, I'm not your boss. I'm not your employer. Just someone who happened to put you in a position to do better in life. At least within your organization.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes a promotion's not always what you were really looking for.
And if it isn't, then I'm sure that you can take steps to change that for yourself.
Yeah, let's hope so.
And then Tazi kind of like as he's getting ready to turn, he like turns back. Hey, yeah, look, I'm sorry if I ended up pushing you into a situation you didn't want. I just assumed that since you ran with a criminal organization, you wouldn't mind a leg up.
Yeah.
And you were the only survivor.
Yeah, it's because I stopped shooting.
Yes. You showed common sense.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see. I have, I guess, a lot to learn.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Thanks.
Once again, good luck. And I'll try not to make this a regular thing while we're on planet.
All right. Thank you. Good luck.
Can you recommend another bar?
Head south. There's several.
Can't even get a specific bar. That's all right. Great. Good luck. And then Tazi kind of just like gives him a little 2-finger salute. And
As you walk out, you just hear him go, "This just gets more awkward every time we talk." And as you step out, D4, Captain,
yeah, D4.
curious, why 1 minute you're brandishing a gun in his face, and the next minute you're encouraging him?
D4. You've been around long enough to know that the tough guy routine isn't really something I'm great at.
That is true. Not for long, anyways.
No. And we are reaching the end of my ability to keep the tough guy routine going. Um, I kind of feel bad, apparently, pushing this guy into a job he didn't want for our benefit.
I think in the end, it is something he wants.
You know, I don't know.
Just maybe not now. Time will tell.
I mean, again, I told him I wouldn't. I'd try not to come back. I'll try not to come back.
I just find
Clearly,
it-
clearly, he does not enjoy our interactions. That's my fault, and I just keep making it worse. So,
I do find human interaction very fascinating. It is not linear and logical.
well, D4, you know I'm not human, right?
Well, I was using that term generic. I guess I should say I find
Fleshies.
sentient beings' interactions interesting.
Gotcha. That makes more sense. That's a better term to use. Yeah, more inclusive.
Yes. Shall we?
Yeah, let's head back to the ship. We can maybe do a little recon on our Devronian friends before we make a decision.
Very well. Could I perhaps make a suggestion?
You're a full member of the crew, D4. Of course, you can make a suggestion.
Perhaps not mentioning to Karrell what this Deveronian's ultimate goal is would be helpful. Otherwise, we will be in a fight very shortly.
I thought of that too. The result of that, however, would be me lying to Karrell
Hmm.
as a live omission.
Then perhaps we agree I will tell her when I feel the time is right.
No, but then I am taking part in that process. I agree if I tell Karrell that the Devronians want to get into slavery, this is likely going to end in a bloody fashion.
Very quickly it will.
But I also have to give Karrell the benefit of the doubt. She may be able to work this out in a way that does not involve the Devronians losing limbs or life.
I believe
That's part of the
A1.
trust. You know, we talked about trust, right? I gotta trust Karrell. She can take her hatred of slavery and control it long enough to get a job done. Right? And you know, at the end of the day, if we do this right, if we do this, Devronians will not be slavers. They will not get into that business. They will not partake in that. So we'll have stopped them from being slavers, right? Ideally.
That is correct. But I feel if A1 were here, he would say something along the lines of, I bet you she loses her attitude. Would you take his bet?
D4, you also know I'm not really much of a betting guru.
That is fair. Well, I guess we shall see.
We will. Come, let's let's head back on the ship. Let's see if they've got us ready to take off when we're ready to leave. And then maybe we can get them involved in the monitoring process.
Very well.
I'm sure Karrell wouldn't mind a little stealth mission. Maybe you and Karrell can do some scouting.
If that's what we agree.
If that's what we agree as a crew, correct?
Very well. After you, Captain.
All right.
And he steps behind you and starts just. He almost steps at the same time you do. He's just walking behind you, and you guys get back to the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming Karrell has just been working the entire time.
I think there's been enough time that the work is done, and Karrell is probably went to go, clean up, and probably maybe is just coming back out.
Okay.
It's just changed into fresh clothes. She still looks. She doesn't have hair to be wet. Never mind. Still toweling off her leku. There we go. That'll work.
All right.
Oh, hey, how'd the repairs go?
It's all working. I mean, everything's green. Except for that one yellow, it flickers every once in a while. But if you flip it with you clink it with your finger, it goes back to green right away.
Okay. All right. Working is good. Working is good. Working is good.
So this Deveronian, we have to go and have a talk with him.
So I got a little bit of information from our new friend.
Did you bring back the wham?
Drunken Gundark.
Because I can make dinner while you're talking.
I forgot the wham.
All right. Well, I'll make do with what we have.
I'll tell you what. I bet you could go ahead and place an order for the wham, and it'll get here before we finish our conversation.
Well, I'll make do with what we have. There's no sense in spending money with when we have perfectly good rations.
Sorry, I got distracted while we were out.
Just keep talking. Karrell walks towards the galley and starts rummaging.
So the Deveronian group, it looked like they worked for they worked for the Black Sun briefly.
We probably shouldn't throw that name around a lot. How about we use like a pseudonym, we call it the Noir Star.
We're on the ship, so I thought we'd be all right.
Well, I mean, that's a good habit to get into. I mean, look how bad we are remembering fake names.
Hey, I told the girl I was named Jax after I said my name, but I did say Jax after that.
Well, I mean, that's growth. I'm proud of you, Tazi.
Oh. Thanks. So, the information I got was that they did work briefly for our underworld friends. They failed the mission they were given.
Okay.
It was a kind of a test run. As such, they were excised from the organization, cut loose.
So we're looking at second or third stringers.
Yes, that's the impression I got. More importantly, and you're not holding anything breakable right now, are you?
She turns around and slides a plate in front of you, and it's about 8 saltines with peanut butter and jelly on them. And she sits down with a plate of herself. No, I mean...
D4 takes a step away from Karrell.
I was still holding the plates.
You want to put those plates down?
Well, they're on I'm putting them on the table because we're going to eat.
All right, yep. Just make sure. Go ahead and put them down.
Tazi, just say whatever it is you're going to say. And she sits down and starts munching on a cracker.
Look, it's the the Deveronians, currently working as a press gang. They want to make it. They want to make their name by getting into slavery.
Huh. A Deveronian into slavery. Who thought of it?
Who would have thunk?
It's a very original story.
Yep.
I mean, you remember Cantor?
Oh no,
That was a piece of work.
yes, I remember Cantor.
Season
So-
1.
Mhm.
So we found out where they're holed up.
Okay.
What I'd like to do before I decide anything, or before we, the group, the crew, decide how we're going to handle this,
Mm-hmm.
I would like for you and D4 to go do a little scouting.
Okay. Well, you haven't told... So, these people that are working for the Deveronians, they're the ones we're trying to rescue?
Yes, they've been.
How will I know them?
Well, they're all kids.
Oh, that's not cool. Like,
Yeah,
Karrell
they're
wouldn't
all-
say that. That's not nice.
They're all teens or younger.
It's Cantobite all over again. Wait. They
Yeah.
they weren't dressed like you, were they?
No, they were clearly living.
Okay, I'm just
They're living,
just
I
checking.
believe. Currently, they're living under an abandoned factory, the same abandoned factory where the Deveronians are calling their home.
Okay, so I mean, we just need to scout it out, find out if the Deveronians are there, how many of them are there, and then we basically tell them that they need to stop doing what they're doing. Stop picking on kids.
I suggest we encourage them to get out of the business altogether.
Okay, that's perfectly acceptable. I mean, it doesn't sound
At
like they'd
least
be very successful at it. I mean, if they got cut loose and not even killed by the Noir Star, I mean, Black Sun. I mean, they can't be very good. I mean, we could probably.
I mean,
They'd
they're
probably end up-
probably not, but
50-50
probably not.
chance they'd end up selling themselves into slavery.
but they're look, the bottom line is that currently they're at least threatening enough to have threatened this group of kids into working for them. So let's
Teach
get a
them to
quick
pick on
scout
someone their own
their
size.
location. Yep. Well, let's get some eyes on them. See what we're dealing with. Then we'll make a decision on how we're going to handle it.
Okay. Eat your crackers. You need the protein.
Will do. And Tazi sits down at the table and starts munching.
Crow finishes her crackers, cleans up, and... Okay, I'll go change. D4, do you want to go, like, now?
I am ready when you are.
Okay, I'm going to go change, and then, well, I'll meet you in the cargo bay.
Very well. D4 just heads to the cargo bay.
Yeah. Crow goes and changes into, like, a nondescript outfit with that smuggler jacket that she has, and also underneath it, she's got, like, a hooded cloak, so... It's not up,
Okay.
but she can put it up if she needs to. So
Right. Because it's Star Wars. As long as you have the hood up on your cloak,
Nobody knows who you are.
nobody can see you.
exactly.
I'm invisible.
It's a force ability everybody has.
Yeah. As Karrell and D4 exit the ship, A1 looks over at Tazi. Our little Karrell's growing up.
Well, I mean, it certainly seems that way. Again, I trust that she will make a good decision, that she will go scout this out, come back, give us so we'll get some good intel and we'll go from there.
Oh, I'm betting they burned the place down.
I hope that is not the action that they take, but again, there is that chance.
I'm also betting we have new passengers soon.
What makes you say that?
He turns and starts rolling up the gangplank. History. He just keeps rolling up the gangplank slowly. I found a bottle I had hidden that I forgot about.
A bottle.
Of your favorite blue drink.
Tazi leans back from the crackers. Mouth is kind of parched. Tazi's going to make a discipline check.
All right.
What's
Make
the
it,
difficulty? What's the difficulty to resist a favorite
Temptation.
beverage?
Average
See,
with
that
a
was
setback?
Yeah. See, they're a hard check. I mean, it is one of your favorites.
I would say average with a setback, I think is
All right.
good.
Works for me.
And for our friends watching, a setback die is a black die.
Mhm.
Thank you, far away, Michael. Thank you.
What was that?
Thank you, far away, Michael. Thank you. We could barely hear
For
you.
our
when
friends
you said it.
watching, a setback die is a black die. Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Far away, Michael's not so far away.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, that's 3 failures and 2 advantages.
All right.
Tazi jams another salty cracker in his mouth. Then I'm gonna grab me that bottle. Anyone?
He rolls it over, hands it to you.
Tazi uses his long thumb to pop the cork off the bottle.
It's about half full.
And he just takes a swig, like just tips it back. Takes a pull off the bottle. Ooh, that has been a while. All right. And then like the camera, I think then like kind of pans back a little bit as you see Tazi like jam another cracker in his mouth and take another pull.
Then we cut over to D4 and Karrell. I'm gonna say you guys are just outside the ship. D4 looks over. We were supposed to give a signal to the, I guess, leader of the children. Because all we know is that they are in a old clothing factory. But we do not know exactly where.
Oh, he didn't find that part out, did he? Karl stops and just like waves her arm up in the air, like just kind of like.
I thought he did give me the address.
Yeah, we can say you did.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I definitely would have passed that
Then-
on. Well,
okay.
D4 was there, so
Rewind.
D4
Yeah.
would have it too.
Yeah, all right. So then start that over. D4 says, I believe we were supposed to give a signal to the leader of these children.
That,
Would you like to speak with her?
I mean, are they here? And Karel is like, her eyes are shifting, trying to look nonchalantly around.
My understanding is that they are always watching the ships.
Well, that's not creepy at all.
I believe all the ships are being watched by several eyes at all times.
I mean, that actually does make a little bit of sense. Okay, is there a reason we need to talk to them? We know where we're going, right? You did get the address, right?
We did, but... Well, I thought perhaps she would have more information for you.
Well, I mean, we're just going to go do recon, and then we can come back. And I thought this whole idea was to see if we were going to help, which I'm pretty sure Tazi thinks we're going to help, which, okay, that's fine. But, I mean, do we need the kids involved?
No, but they live in the basement of the factory. The Deveronians are upstairs. If things go poorly, they should be aware.
D4, when has anything gone poorly for us?
Would you like the list, or was that more sarcasm?
That was definitely sarcasm.
Ah, I'm still learning.
It's
Very
okay. I mean, would it help if I made some sort of gesture with my hand if it's sarcastic?
That would be helpful.
Okay, just don't get to rely on it, though, because, you know, nobody else is going to be doing that, like, in the wild.
Perhaps we should come up with a series of hand signals.
Well, I mean, we could probably base something off the old, and Karrell starts telling him about a Jedi, like, silent hand signal that they kind of came up with at the beginning of the war, and how we can adapt it to different things. And they moved on kind of, they're being obvious, trying to garner the attention of any of the children that are watching. So, but they're heading that way. She's heading that way.
Okay. Are you trying to signal one, or just talking and moving your hands?
I don't know what the signal is, and neither does D4. So, Tazi, we could just wave our arms in the air. Like we don't care.
There was no signal. The D4 knows that there was no signal, because D4 again was present during that conversation. So D4 knows there was no signal set up.
I thought you said you would signal when you'd made the decision.
Because Tazi knows that they're watching.
Okay.
So
there's no official signal, but
there is no official signal. Correct.
Gotcha. So, all right. You guys are heading in the direction that you were told.
Okay. Figure if they're watching, they're going to notice and they'll probably stop. So not really hurrying, trying to take it easy. And when we get close, then we start being a little more blendy.
Okay. You guys get up near the old factory.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
What is my difficulty?
Let's make it a red and 2 purple. I gotta go find it. I don't even know why I ever roll his. Barely have enough dice to roll his.
Four successes and 2 threats.
Okay. You and D4 slide into the shadows across from the abandoned factory. Did you get some threats?
Yeah, I got 2 threats.
Write that down.
Country and Western.
Yeah.
We got both kind of threats, country and Western.
And Western.
Yeah. All right. You get there, you slide into the shadows, and you see, just like they described, it's kind of an old, beat up, abandoned looking factory in a kind of a little bit of a rundown little area. Looks like they really haven't done much with the businesses in this area for a very long time.
Okay.
It's not on what you'd call the main street. And you notice that there are 5 Deveronians out front. And anybody that walks by, they puff up their chest and make comments and make big motions towards them, and they laugh as people run away.
So these are the masterminds. She's saying this like very quietly to D4.
Yes, as far as I understand.
How many did they say there were? Is it just these 5?
Yes, I believe it was the leader and 4 others.
Okay, well, let's just keep an eye on them. I mean, they seem kind of laughable. I mean, they're just being cruel.
I agree. I believe they are not much of a threat to us.
No, probably just a threat to anybody they can bully.
True. I see that they are armed with only small blaster pistols.
Yeah, I don't see any like rifles or anything. Chris, are they kind of standing in like a bunch together? Like
I'm picturing you got the front of the factory, you got a couple that are leaning against the wall on one side of the door, one of them sitting in a chair kind of leaning back, the other 2 are kind of out in front in the road.
Okay.
Or the street, and as people walk by, like I said, they make rude comments and puff their chests up.
Are there any 2 that are like next to each other, like the 2 leaning up against the wall or something?
Yeah, they're probably pretty close to each other.
Okay. Karrell's gonna reach out with the force.
Okay.
Let me see if I have the force dice to do this, which I hopefully should. And she fails to find the calm she needs to do what she needs to do.
Okay.
Can I spend a light side point to re-roll that? I just don't want it. I just don't want it to be like, okay, I'm going to do it again, because that just seems like I'm cheapening the way out. So, Karrell like closes her eyes, takes a deep breath to try and get some calm. Because I rolled 7 dark side points on my force dice.
The light side point gives you the automatic success, right?
Well, I'm using it to let me re-roll.
Just do a reroll.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that because I like that better than. I'm just going to keep making the attempt, like you said.
Well, so the funny thing is now I have 6 light side points and 1 dark side that I'm not going to use.
Yeah.
So Karrell just like closes her eyes, centers herself in the force, like her breathing becomes very shallow and slow. And then she opens her eyes and looks at the 2 standing there. And she just lifts a finger, and this is what D4 says. And basically she uses force move to grab, like when one of them like gestures, she's going to make the hand just turn and smack the one guy next to him, like just like backhand him like he's a little bitch.
Okay. They look at each other and they start pushing each other, and let me see how he actually reacts. Can't imagine they're disciplined as much.
I don't think so, but
Ow. Well, that's 3 failures, but 2 advantages.
at least it
So
wasn't
they
a
start
despair. That would have been funny.
Yeah.
They just shoot each other.
They start pushing and wrestling each other with the 2 advantages. The one that's sitting on the chair gets up and he starts yelling and grabbing one and picking him up and kind of separates them and throws them apart. They look pretty dirty and annoyed with each other, but he gets them back under control.
How did they look? Okay, so I'm going to note that is obviously like the leader type. How did they look as fighters? I mean, were they actually fighting, or were they just like scuffling like a pair of brothers just wrestling?
They're definitely not very skilled.
Okay. Well, I was hoping that would be true, but I wanted to double check it. So, okay, cool. D4, do you think we could get in there and scout the place out too? I mean, if they're all over here, we should be able to approach from the back side of the building.
I don't see why not.
I'm gonna look up. How close are we? How close are the streets here? Is it like wide, like one speeder width, or like multiple?
I would say that this is kind of an old industrial area, so the streets are going to be wide enough so you can have two big speeders go through.
All right, then I think Karrell's gonna duck out of the building, like work her way wide around, and try and approach their building from the backside.
Okay. I'm going to use your threats. I'm going to flip the dark side point you just gave me back to light side.
Okay.
For some reason that confused myself. As Karrell and D4 turn to head that direction, there's a 14-year-old girl standing next to you, and she smiles and got a big bright smile and big blue eyes. Oh. Funny, I should run into you two. E4 looks at her. It's nice to see you again, Kira. Kira? Kaylee. Kaylee? Kira.
Because apparently that's my new nickname, so that works out nicely.
Oh, shit.
D4 has given me a new name. D4 has given me a name.
Well, we're going to go with it.
We're going to go with it because, yeah.
Love it.
Done that kind of day.
We're so
So
bad
wait
at
a minute.
this.
Wait a minute. Just so I'm clear.
Karrell's
cover name is Kaylee.
I would like it known far and wide that that was not my idea.
It obviously wasn't technically my idea either. It just sort of happened.
But it's normally Alex who gets all the character names and player names backwards and identical.
So wait, is this our Identico stream?
I don't know anymore. Anyway.
All right. Anyways.
Kira, is it?
Oh, yes. It's nice to meet you.
So are you some of the people that the Deveronians are oppressing? Because you seem pretty free right now.
Well, as long as we come back and give them stuff. But they don't let all of us leave at once. Some of us have to stay here.
Ah, okay, so how many of you are there?
Myself and 9 others.
Okay, I mean, that's a lot of kids.
Did you decide to take the job?
The captain has not decided that yet. So we're here to just kind of look over the situation.
And your observation so far?
I think that if you were about 2 inches taller and maybe a year older, you could probably fight all of them and win.
I don't know how to fight.
Well, that's why I said it would be like a year older. You'd have to learn how to fight, but they have no organization. They have no discipline. They barely have. I mean, did you see how the one telegraphed his punch after the one slapped him? It was like watching puppies fight.
I will take your word for it. You are more the expert on this than I am. If it helps, I could... How do you say it? Sweeten the deal?
Well,
We don't have much, but I took a collection. We have 50 credits we could pay you.
Doesn't D4 know where she got the 50 credits though?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. He doesn't say anything though, of course, because that would be helpful. Sorry. I mean, no, it's okay. You should probably get something to eat with that money. Or maybe some new clothes, all that kind of thing. Look, I don't know your situation. That is up to the captain. But we're gonna go. Do you have a back way into the building?
Yes.
Could you take us there?
Yeah.
Go ahead. We'll follow.
Oh, all right. She leads you guys down an alley and around to the backside. Some of us can come and go this way, but not all of us can get out.
Why not? There were 5 of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But
they're all out front.
Right, but they have some of us. Well, they lock people in and let certain people out.
Okay, so like if I could get those people out, you guys could all just leave, right?
Oh, but we could, but where would we go? This is our home.
Well, I mean, this factory is your home?
Yes.
So they're taking over, they took over your home.
Yes.
Okay, so...
I thought I explained this to your captain.
Well, he didn't explain it to me, so that's the whole thing. Hold on one moment, would you? And Karrell kind of like turns her back for a second and pulls out her comm and calls up Tazi. Like, volume really low.
Oh, for Tazi.
Captain, this is your crewmate, Kaylee. I have met one of the beings that you referred to earlier. They are under duress by 5... I'm trying to figure out a good way to put this. Incompetence. So, are you okay if I just get them, if I just, like, scare these guys off and run them off? Or do you want to...
upon them the error of their ways?
Yeah, I mean, just...
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they have no discipline. They're not much of a threat. They have very light weapons. It's not even funny.
No.
Do you want to come and help, or...
No, I completely trust you to take care of this. You've certainly done the legwork.
Is there anything else I need to know? Because this young lady, Kira, said that she explained everything to you already. I just don't want to make sure I'm doing anything that you're not aware, or there's more information that I need.
I don't think there's more information required. You could ask Kira a little bit more detail about like what they're having them do and like the mechanics of the operation, but I don't know that we need that to stop them.
No, I don't really think so. I mean, from what I've gathered, it's just a matter of these Deveronians came in and took over their home and put them to work for them. So we just show them the door.
One thing we may want to be wary of, if we take out these Deveronians, you know what? I'm sure it won't be a problem. Don't worry about it.
What do you mean?
No, I in the back of my mind, I just had this really weird feeling that maybe if we remove the Deveronians from the picture, it's not going to stop the kids from doing this for themselves.
Well, that's their choice.
Won't be doing it for someone else.
I mean, that's their choice. They have free will and can do what they need to. If that's the path they set themselves on, then it's not up to us to stop them.
You're right. I just, again, I'm sure it won't be a problem. I'm sure once we get these kids out from under the thumb of these Devronians, they will make the right decisions.
Okay. I'm going to ask this, and I don't know what your answer is going to be, and I honestly don't know what my answer would be. If something goes wrong, should we evacuate them from the planet or drop them off on the other side of Randon? I don't want to adopt a bunch of kids, okay? We did this once. I'm not on board again.
My gut says this is a hands-off situation.
Okay. So it's not even on the table.
I mean, I guess it's something we can consider if we absolutely have to, but I don't want to make any plans for it right now.
Okay, then I'm not even going to consider it unless it's an emergency.
Yep, we'll cross that railingless bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, that's probably that's a good way to put it. Okay, well, I gotta think up a creative way. You know what? I'm just gonna go try and talk to them, and if they get too uppity, then I'll run them off. So I'll be back in probably half hour or so. Tazi?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to disconnect? I thought you were going to disconnect.
Well, I just thought you'd reply. I mean, I said I would be back in like a half hour or so. You usually say something be careful or stay safe or, I mean, it's just, there's like usually a greeting, understanding that the conversation is over, unless you had something more to tell me.
No, I didn't have anything else. I thought you were going.
No, I thought you were going to say something before I was going.
No, just good luck.
Okay, thanks. I mean, I don't expect much of a problem here, so I'll talk to you in a little bit. And Karrell disconnects.
Tazi waits a second and then disconnects himself.
And Karrell turns back to Kira. Okay, so if I run them off, you can get your group to kind of take over again? You'll be okay by yourselves?
I mean, if you permanently run them off.
I'm sure I can get rid of them. That's not, I mean, they're not really all that impressive, to be fair. So, can you sneak back inside, let people know that there's going to be a ruckus and they should just like not get near any any windows or walls? I don't want anybody to be hurt by like a random blaster shot.
Okay.
Okay. Stay safe. And Karrell turns around and heads back towards the front. So D4, I'm just going to try and talk to them and see if I can convince them that this is not a good way to be. And then if they take exception to that, we'll do it the other way.
Could I ask for a signal? The last time I feel I reacted slower.
I would say if they shoot at us, that is the signal.
Understood. The last time I was with Captain, he shot first.
Well, I mean, I think they teach that in captain school. Like, all ship captains have to know how to shoot first.
That seems strange.
I didn't take that class, but I mean, it seems like something that, you know, you know what? It is what it is. Let's not worry about it. All right.
Well.
Do you want to stay hidden and then just jump in if I need help, or do you want to like back me up and look menacing?
Which do you think would be more effective?
I think if they just see one person, they're going to think easy mark and probably not take it seriously. If they see one person and a droid, I'm not sure if that's going to be much more help. Because unfortunately, D4, you're not super menacing. You have You look like a medical droid. You're very reassuring in your mannerisms. So maybe if you stayed, as like a safety measure, stay kind of in hiding and then jump in if they start shooting.
Very well.
All right. You ready?
I am.
All right. 1, 2, 3, break.
He heads to the shadows.
Okay. I am going to... Karrell's going to recenter herself again.
Okay.
And I am going to commit 2 of my light side force points to force protection.
Okay.
Excuse me. I'm going to do 1 because I can only do 1 because I only have 1 rank in it. Never mind. But that just basically gives me a... I'm just going to take strain while I do it. So not a big deal. Okay. And Karrell's just going to pull her hood up and walk towards the crew.
All right. 2 of them intercept you as you get partway across the road. Comments along the lines of, what are you doing here, little girl? Do you have something for us? Ha 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 ha. Just crude, not very creative.
You do know the height of an individual being does not at all tell you anything about who they are or why they're here.
One of them smiles. Oh, that whole size doesn't matter thing. But whatever.
Oh, no, it matters, and I'm pretty sure that you don't have to worry about that. But I would just like you guys to get lost. I mean, you're picking on little kids. It's not very nice.
One of them just smiles a big toothy grin. And what if we don't?
Well, I'm asking you nicely. I think that would be very preferable to the other methods that I have at my disposal.
Okay. So you're not trying to look intimidating, correct?
Karrell does have her electro staff, but it is not activated, so it kind of just looks like a metallic pole.
Okay. I'm just trying to picture, Karrell's all
she
of what,
is not.
5'3"?
She is 5'3". She does not look intimidating at all. She's not even trying to look intimidating.
All right. Just want to make sure I'm picturing the same thing you are.
Yeah.
Then they just laugh. Well, tell you what, little girl, if you want to join our crew, I got a room in the back. I'll take you in. We can have some fun.
You know what?
Anyway.
That's probably a really good idea. What does it take to be in charge of the crew?
They just smile.
Are you the leader?
They turn and look at the guy on the chair.
Ah.
He's more the guy that keeps things running normal.
Okay. So I would like his job then.
They smile. One of them just shakes their head. Good luck. But you might want to think about what you're going to do. Fennec there is undefeated in several fights.
Well, I'm still alive too. And where I come from, the fights don't end until the opponent does. Were you at all did you pay any attention to the fights down at, what was the bar that Karrell was at the night before, the 2 nights ago?
Or that one. I don't remember.
I don't remember that one, but that I mentioned that name.
No. We don't go there.
And Karrell pulls her hood back. It's like, and she still has a few bruises. It's like, let's just put it this way. The Wookiee is still having problems walking, but I let him survive. So, I am now in charge of your gang. That's great. We're going to stop oppressing the children that live here, and we're going to go do good things for the community. Anyone have a problem with that?
Danik, the guy in the chair, leans forward. How much are we getting paid?
Oh, you'll get paid in good feelings and a warmth in your heart. Helping your fellow sentient beings. Plus, I'm sure that people will give us food and shelter in exchange for our work.
He just laughs. Listen. Little girl. That's not how the world works. If you're not willing to take what you want, you're going to get run over. Now.
Well, I am not willing to take what I want. I feel that the galaxy provides for me.
Then provide for us. Pay us.
What do you need credits for?
Buy things that we want. Do you understand how credits work?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Then you understand. He with the most credits controls things.
That's illusory, though. Credits are fleeting. If you have credits one moment, you give them to somebody else for something that you want, now they have credits. So you're basically just trading power back and forth. Listen, I could sit here and debate philosophy with you all evening, but I don't really have a whole lot of time. It's been a long day. I've spent the last 8 hours working. You know what? You don't need to know about my problems. It's a whole thing. Are you going to leave the kids alone and let them have their home?
If you pay us, then yes.
Oh, I don't have any money.
Then
I mean, I
you
could
have
probably
an
get you
issue.
50 credits. Probably take up a collection or something.
we make more than that doing what we're doing now.
Yeah, but what you're doing now is hurting other people. Taking advantage of people.
He smiles, leans back in his chair. I don't see anybody stopping us.
Well, if you won't listen to it rationally, I could stop you. I really don't want to do that, though.
He laughs. Listen, little one, be gone. You're annoying.
Without turning on the electrostaff, I'm going to basically strike out with it, knock the chair out from under him.
Okay. We'll drop.
Not trying to not trying to damage him, just trying to like embarrass him.
All right, roll it first, then we'll see.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a
melee. Yeah, it's a melee attack.
Yeah. The chair's not going to dodge, so it's not like it has any defense.
I would roll a triumph. So 2 successes, 3 advantages, and a triumph.
All right. What would you like the triumph to be?
I'm going to say that I basically, Karrell sweeps the leg of the chair out from under him, and the chair actually will fly off and knock one of the other guys over as this guy falls flat on his back. And Karrell will look over and go, "Ooh, sorry about that." It doesn't hurt him, but it's embarrassing. Mm-hmm. Maybe knocks him over.
Okay. So Danik falls on his back. Here, kind of.
Maybe he gets the wind knocked out of him with those advantages. So he gets a black die to his next action.
All right. Are you letting him just stand back up?
Yeah.
Or are you taking a stance over him?
No. I'll activate defensive stance, though.
Okay.
So in case he pulls a gun, I will jump into combat at that point.
Okay. I think based on kind of their alpha thing, he's gonna just stand up. He's just gonna take a swing at you. So you say take a defensive stance. So it
Yep.
upgrades his dice.
And I also, defensive stance and force protect. Okay, that's my soak. Okay, so yeah. I have defensive stance. Yeah.
Right. Do you have any melee defense?
Do. Yeah, I do. Hang on. Melee defense of 2.
I'm assuming that applies to a punch.
Yeah. It's the trench coat and the second skin armor she wears underneath it.
A complete wash. So
Did you get his black die too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. He gets up and swings.
Like a haymaker type thing?
Yeah.
I picture Karrell just kind of like leans back. Karrell kind of just leans back and lets the punch pass.
And he swings and he's off balance a little bit. What would you like to do in response?
I think I'll just when the fist comes by, Karrell will just like redirect his motion. So I'll basically redirect his motion like with a martial arts move type thing, so he goes stumbling into the guy that she hit with the chair.
Okay.
That's gonna be brawl probably then.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, so I need green dice. Oh, just one green die. Okay, there we go. And melee defense of 2. Does he have anything other than just the 2 purples?
He just has 1 defense.
So that upgrades?
No, just a black die.
Just black die. It's been a while.
Mhm.
And I just dropped that, so I'll just pick up another one.
I can't imagine your typical bullies are
Holy
gonna have
Lord.
much
Hang on.
the thought of defense.
I had dice escape all over the place. All right.
Now, if you'd been using one of your patented rainbow dice towers, right?
That's true. That is true. I could have used one of those, or I could have kept my dice in this beautiful raccoon dice holder, that kind of thing. Or if they misbehave, I could put it in this tiny little dragon dice trail. So product placement is over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
All these items
8,
can be purchased at
9,
Rainbow Dragon Prince.
10, 11, 10. 1, 2, 10 successes and 1 advantage.
Okay. Are you trying to have him actually take damage from that, or just?
I think I'm trying to redirect him so he runs into the other guy and he takes stun, strain damage. I'm not trying to kill them unless they pull weapons. So
Right.
more of an embarrassment and a beat down at the same time. So
You hear the
that would be what's my brawl? Hang on. Where's come here.
That's your successes plus your
My brawn. Yeah.
brawn.
So that would be 13 damage.
Okay. Divided up between the 2 of them in a way. You hear the 2 that are in the street are kind of laughing, and they start kind of cheering it on. Sure, who's boss, Danik? That kind of.
And for a maneuver, I'll continue defensive stance.
Okay.
The Karrell just turns and stands her. She standing with her hands on her electrostaff just in front of her, just standing there.
All right.
You
he's gonna
telegraph
take
your
another.
punches, and you should not just swing wildly. Swing, punch from the shoulder.
He pushes himself off of the guy that you pushed him into, and he's going to take another swing at you.
Okay. Same roll.
Yep. That's hilarious. So 1 failure, 1 advantage.
Okay.
He swings, but he's not off balance as bad. He's standing in front of you, looking really upset and angry.
Okay.
He's focused on you. You've made him kind of fool of him a couple of times. He's not happy.
I don't know if I need to make a brawl check for this, but Karrell's just going to reach up and pat him on the cheek condescendingly.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Just, it's okay. A lot of men have performance problems.
He's going to take another swing at you.
Go ahead.
He is not good. That's 2 failures and 2 advantages.
Okay.
He is still swinging.
Yeah, this time Karrell actually has to take a step back. Look, I could do this all night until you tire yourself out. I'm going to give you one last chance to just call this off. Otherwise, I'm going to put you in the hospital. And my medical droid is not going to be the one who puts you back together. Just leave these kids alone and go on about your life in another part of Randon. Please.
He stops. There's 5 of us and 1 of you.
You should, well, first of all, you might want to count again, but not yet. Karrell kind of yells back into the darkness. But I don't think I actually need help. Do you have like 10 or 15 more friends that you could call real quick? Because then I'll have to get back up. Because numbers, you know. She like starts, oh, I broke a nail.
Like I thought. Okay.
For the audience, we're going to be wrapping it up pretty soon, I think. So
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a coercion check.
okay. Hey, something I have no skill in. Wait a minute, hang on. Let me double check this. Do I have anything Forcey related? Oh wow, I totally forgot about that. That would have been funny. Okay, so coercion.
Let me check one thing before you roll the dice, though.
Okay, I need to know the difficulty when you're ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that will work. One second, I have to roll first.
To be fair, Karrell doesn't have a lot of experience intimidating or coercing people.
That's 1 success. All right. As you say that, from behind the 2 that were in the street,
Mm-hmm.
you hear a little stink, and then you hear the guy kind of go. You see out of the corner of your eye, D4 snuck up behind them. He has his vibro sword at one of their necks. He just leans over and says, I would listen to her. Because all she has to say is, now. And this, and he taps the vibro sword on the guy's neck, comes towards me at a rapid pace.
It's very messy. And with that, Karrell will also add to her intimidation check by like thumping the electro staff on the ground and activating it.
Okay. So what I did is D4 basically did the aid action. So
Okay.
he had 1 success, so you're going to get an extra blue die.
Okay.
Surprise, he's not that great at coercion. So
Neither one of us are.
A red and a purple.
Okay. Okay, I got this. I just got to math it out.
Mhm.
So that cancels that. One,
mean,
3 successes and 1 advantage.
Okay. So they definitely believe that you guys have them in a bad position. Excuse me. What would you like to do with the advantages?
I think that the advantage is the one that's currently being held at sword point wets himself. So he'll take a black die to any of his next actions.
They definitely believe that they are outnumbered. No, not
Outclassed.
Outclassed. That's what I was trying to say. They are outclassed. And as most bullies do, when you actually stand up to them, they gather themselves up, and Thanik just looks at you and says, oh, this isn't over.
Why do they always have to say that? And Karrell will take her electro staff and jab it at his throat. Not going for a kill, but going for basically a knockout shot.
Okay. Roll it. Go ahead and roll it.
I'm mathing.
Oh, sorry. I didn't.
Okay. Successes and advantages wash out. So that's going to be 5 successes. So he's going to take 12 damage.
Well, he doesn't have that much soak. So he's going to fall down.
Boom.
Basically, it was just a strike to his larynx, so he's like, he can still breathe, but like he can't. His larynx is paralyzed. He can't talk. He's gonna have a hard time articulating for a few hours, but he'll be okay.
From behind, you hear D4. Is that the signal?
No, I'm gonna see if they're smart enough. If they decide to pull what I would laughably call blasters, then take his head off. But I'm hoping they'll get the hint and get the hell out. I'm going to activate Fear of the Shadows.
Okay. What does that do?
Is this... So I have used it. From the Fear of the Shadows action, make a hard deception check to force a single minion group or rival to flee the encounter.
Okay. Roll it.
Deception. That I actually have a point in. 1, 2, 3... 4 blue, 3 purple. That is a lot of blank dice. Holy crap. All right, I have to math. That counters
Seeing a lot
that.
of blanks in my earlier rolls too.
Okay, math. 1, 2,
Me too.
3. 1 success and 1 threat. So I'm gonna say this takes a little bit of energy from Karrell, and but yeah.
I mean, they quickly, the 2 that were by the door, pick up Thanik. The one that D4's got his sword to his neck slowly moves out from D4's embrace and grabs the other one, and the 5 of them take off running down the street.
Okay. Karrell deactivate her electro staff and watch them run. Can I make a perception check? Do I get the feeling they're going to try and come back, or did I put the fear of me into them enough that they will leave?
You knocked the one guy out, he couldn't touch you, and you told him if they came back that you'd make it worse, so you're pretty confident they're not coming back.
All right. Once I'm sure they're gone, Karrell will turn and probably find Kira right behind her.
Absolutely.
That's what I thought. Okay. This is your place again. Take that 50 credits and go buy some food.
He smiles. I already did.
Okay. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Karrell will... Come on, D4, let's go. We'll start heading back towards the ship.
D4 looks at Karrell. I was not expecting this outcome.
What, you thought they would actually hurt me?
He stops, looks to the right, looks to the left. No, quite the opposite.
But that's the opposite is what happened. They couldn't hurt me, and we got them to leave. I'm confused what
No.
you're confused about.
I expected more violence.
They're like any type of bully that you stand up to them and they're going to fold. They're looking to see who is the strongest among them, and none of them were even remotely as strong as... Honestly, if that kid knew how to fight, she could have stood up to them.
I am more impressed with your control. In the past, I feel you would have walked forward and, well, done more violence.
They
I
weren't
believe
worth it. It's... Come on, let's keep walking while we're talking. It's...
Very well.
A1 and I had a talk a couple days ago. Was it yesterday? Day before yesterday? Something like that.
Mhm.
And he pointed out something that I'm kind of taking to heart, and I've been thinking about off and on for the past 18 months or so. Being...
Mhm.
The Jedi teach one... She wouldn't say that out loud in public. We were taught a specific way to think, a specific way to feel, and that emotions were to be shunned. I never thought that was right, and I thought I knew better. I kind of went the wrong way for a little while, and I see that they have some points, but emotions and attachments make you weaker in some ways, but stronger in others. And if I would have just gone up there and cut them all down, I would have been no better than they were. They had aspirations to become a bigger problem. I'm hoping that I've shown them a better path by being lenient.
I would say that my past has taught me that using your emotions was the key to success. I believe you are finding the opposite.
It's
The more you...
You have to find a balance. You can use your emotions in a positive manner, but you can't let them use you. That's one of the things your former employer type believed, is that the stronger and darker emotions gave them power. It did, but at a great cost.
That is true.
It's a cost I'm not willing to pay. So I'm trying to focus more on the emotional things that give me strength, like my friendship with you all.
I am learning a lot. Thank you.
Anytime.
I hope we can both continue to learn and grow together.
I think that the only time you ever stop learning is when you stop living.
That is true. Oh,
Come on, D4.
I
I'll
guess-
go buy you some 22.8, and we'll make we'll get you a good oil bath tonight.
that would be nice.
And I think the camera just stays as they walk down the street towards back towards the landing area.
So you guys make it back to the ship after a little while.
Tazi, we're back.
No, what?
Here you go, D4. Remember, share that with A1, okay?
Who will?
You get the...
A1 rolls out. A1 rolls out. How big's the fire?
What fire?
There's a fire.
Here, Tazi, and Karrell hands you a can of wham.
But I mean, Okay.
I ran them off. The kids have their place back. They tried to give me, they took a collection. It was very cute. They got together 50 credits. I said, go buy food with that. And, so they should be good to go. I think those guys will not come back.
All right. Well, good. And no fatalities.
No. Tazi, that would be like, I don't know. That would be like fighting a bunch of infant Jawas.
Well, I mean,
they're cute and annoying, but that's not a challenge.
I am proud that you handled the situation with potential slavers in the way that you did.
They had delusions of grandeur. There's no way they would ever make that sort of career move. Not without losing their lives. So hopefully I've just set them on a better path.
And the kids.
No, they have their place back and 50 credits worth of food.
You gave them 50 credits?
No, they had 50. They took a collection. Tazi, remember I just mentioned, are you still asleep?
No, they didn't take a collection. I gave Kira 50 credits.
Oh.
To spend on food.
Well, technically they took a collection from you then.
Fair enough, I suppose.
Yeah, she tried to bribe me with it, but I told her to buy food. So they should be all set. So do we have enough money to get fueled and so we can get out of here?
Let's look at the coffers.
Sure. You got enough to get fuel to the next back home. I think that's pretty much where you were going to head to.
Yeah, I think that's what our next stop was.
Okay. All right. And Karrell
next scheduled stop anyway.
Karrell sends an order to the landing area to refuel us and put $20 in.
Yeah.
Just
they do.
Put $20. How far can we get on 75 credits?
Yes. Sorry. 75, 20 credits. Yeah. It's all right. Yeah. They should be done in about an hour.
All right.
Do you want to catch a few more winks before we go, or?
No, I'm rested enough. Let's start doing our pre-flight checks. Make sure we've got everything we need to get out of here.
Okay. I'm going to go drop my stuff in my room and I'll let you know. I'll call you from the engine room. And Karrell heads off to go change out of, at least take off the smuggler's trench coat and put away her electrostaff. I actually picture that they have like a locked armory right next to the cargo bay exit by the ramp that she just kind of docks it in. There's a little charger and everything. So,
okay.
And then they lock it back. She locks it back up and then goes to change clothes.
All right. So you get fueled up. And unless there's anything else you guys want to do on Randon, the ship starts heading.
I say, there's the cut to the outside of the ship, the gangplank raising, and then moments later the ship lifting off.
Yeah.
Yep. The docking tubes popping off.
As the ship takes off on the landing platform next to one of the crates, we see a tall human. He's almost 2 meters tall, blonde hair, blue-eyed, fairly well-dressed. Picks up and he pushes a button on a watch, and a little hologram pops up. And we see a Zabrak with red skin, with some black tattoos. And the human says, "Sir, I don't feel that the white worms are going to be much of a threat to us. I do agree that we should keep an eye on the young one. She is good. In a few years, she can be useful. I did find out who eliminated an issue we had here on the planet. and I feel we should keep an eye on him. And the Zabrak smiles. Very good, Voss. Keep tabs on them. And then the call cuts. That's the end of this episode.
And that's actually the end of the season. So, I guess we'll find out next season who this mysterious Zabrak is, as if you probably might not have a guess. If you're familiar with Star Wars lore, you probably have some pretty good guesses. So I just want to thank everybody for being with us. This is, again, our first season. We're going to take a break for the holidays, but we're going to come back late January. Is that what we were planning, guys?
I think so.
Late January or early February. We'll put out probably within the before Christmas, we'll let you know when we're going to be back. But it's not going to be all that long. We may have a couple other announcements, some other stuff going on. But right now, we don't have anything huge planned other than spending the holidays with our friends and family. So, and I'm going to be working my ass off every weekend until Christmas. So yay me. So Michael, do you have anything else you want to say here at the end of the season, or where do people want to find you?
Well, yeah, I just want to thank everybody who's been watching. This is a new endeavor for us to do live streaming versus the standard podcast format that we had been in for so long. It's been a lot of fun. It's been certainly enjoyable to do this as a stream in much shorter bursts and in much tighter formats. And I think we're telling a pretty interesting story this season. Looking forward to seeing how it picks up next season. And
can you say season a couple more times?
Season.
Woo.
How do I like my steak seasoned? Yes, you can find me on the socials at Loser MLW. You can find me on the show Chaos Inc. on the Identico channel, which is also getting ready to take its
holiday hiatus
break, our little brief hiatus. You can catch that next Tuesday. Will be our finale episode. Next Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over at twitch.com/Identico. You can also find me on the show Tubular Teens with Titans, which is a Power Rangers inspired audio drama. You can find that on your podcatchers at Tubular Teens with Titans. Play the team mentor on that show. It's a lot of fun. It's a very exciting, very high drama, very fun audio drama. And then in January, we'll be picking back up with the Dragon Age show, A Time of Masks and Daggers, and that will be on the Rook and Rasp channel on Twitch.
Chris, where can they find you, and do you have anything to say here at the end of the season?
It's been it's been fun. I like interacting with people. I like the chat being interactive, especially since sometimes it helps me come up with ideas, or helps us come up with ideas that we get to kind of work in. So that's fun. I'm looking forward to the next season. Otherwise, you can find me. I do a lot with the RPG Academy. Detention is every other Wednesday night, and then I have the Dragonlance. We're getting close to finishing that every other Thursday. Otherwise, join us on the Discord if you're not already there. That's one of my favorite little areas to chat with people. Don't do much with other social media, but Discord I pay attention to and interact with people. And I definitely do appreciate everybody that has jumped into chat and talked with us. It's fun. I really like that. Kaylee?
Cool.
Where can we find you?
Well, first of all, I just want to say, as everybody else said, thank you guys so much for being part of our show. Especially I want to call out Nathan and Kevin and all the other people who've been so active in the chat with us. And I also want to thank all the people who are still listening on the pods, the pod catchers. It's still cool. I'm sorry I'm a little more timely getting those out. I will try and do better next season. And hopefully you'll still be hearing this while it's November. We'll find out what tomorrow's Kaylee does there. You can find me on the socials at Anime Girl everywhere, mostly now on Blue Sky, as I am waiting for the inevitable death of Twitter. You can also find me alongside Michael next Tuesday for the Identico Season 3 finale of Chaos Incorporated, where there may be a fatality. We'll find out. The stakes have never been higher. Let's just put it that way. And I'm not talking about
One more season.
Huh? What?
More
Oh, you
season.
made us. I was just going to say they're also not USDA Prime. So, anyways, you can also find me there on December. What day is that? Is that the 5th? Is it the 5th Sunday or is that the 3rd? December 3rd over at the Rook and Rasp channel. They are doing an IGDN charity marathon that entire weekend. I know Michael and Chris are both taking parts in that on Fridays and Saturdays, both for you guys. Or which days?
Sunday morning for me at 8 a.m.
And Saturday morning at 8 a.m. and Saturday evening at 8 p.m. for me.
You're going to be busy, and I'll be part of the show playing Fabula Ultima, which is like Final Fantasy / Fire Emblem type RPG game. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm playing the White Mage type healer type. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's at 5 p.m. Eastern time over on the Rook and Rasp Twitch channel. We'd love it for y'all to come out. You can also donate to the charity to affect the story in weird and fabulous ways. So we really would appreciate at least people tuning in and interacting with us, even if you can't donate. The donation of your time would be wonderful. Other than that, I'm also occasionally do some voices on Tubular Teens with Titans, starting with episode 5 of season 2, and I need to work on that some more. Other than that, you can find me at your local craft shows here in Michigan, rainbowdragonprince.com. So with all that said, just want to say thank you once again for everybody, and I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season, and we'll see you in 2024.
See you, folks.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.